I lived in Brazil for about a year, and I used to go to all the little religious gatherings, call them like Santeria and kind of fun stuff like that. Lesson in conversational Portuguese. After a prayer meeting with the spurting of chicken blood in the dusty and livid interior of Brazil, the father of the saints, Pai dos Santos, who had killed the chicken earlier that afternoon, took a liking to me. Você tem o preconceito místico? Are you of the mystical persuasion? Tenho sim. Sure, of course, dude. Então, eu só faço bem. I just do good, he said, in a juicy Morse code flicker of offering that raced over my heart like a fleet of gazelles. Mas, se você quiser mal, but if you want the bad, I know somebody who can help. I declined with some regret at opportunity lost in the quick tropical sunset, reversed and flat like a bed sheet. But I had respect for this father of Umbanda, like the toad has for the wheel. Você tem o preconceito místico? On the chair, my hands shook like bamboo. Of course, I've seen the fountains go out in someone's eyes. In the struggle under the skin, I can go out and be a bad spell. In Brazil, I got into a big taxi cab and got the hell out of there. And the father of the saints still sat there in the dark with the air slightly twitching around him like a house full of lizards waking up, and he sucked in light like the moon. When I got far away, I felt backwards behind me, and he was still there, a faint lamp on a dark street. And in my wallet, there was a fresh card that did not exist. It said, Eu só faço bem. I only do good. This is a poem I wrote a while ago when I was aspiring to be an actor. And I was standing on Sunset Strip on a certain block there with a number of improvements such as the Viper Room and Book Soup and all that. I'm sure we're all familiar. This is called Sunset Strip Self-Improvement Affirmations, as in the New Age sense of I'm going to make money, I'm going to make money, that kind of thing. There is always the feeling of wind, even when there is no wind. The coat wants to turn up. Young women in tight black clothes project coal blonde sex, slip out in gum-chewing 3s and 4s from dark fertility cars. They are fires waiting to jump fire lanes to enter the music smog in the club owned by the famous movie actor, in front of which the famous kid movie star died of too much goodwill and cheap thrills from his good friends. On the sidewalk stood homemade altars from his fans, like kaleidoscopic stoneware Mexican gods with flowers in their hair. The guys take off their shirts and show their tattoos at closing time in front of the tattoo store. The girls look at them with smiles like eclipsing planets. All the way down in their bellies, their faces turn up to the stars. The religious coffee house has folded, of course. People drive more wildly on this street, holding phones to their ears in their cars, feet jammed down tight, close together. Figures on big billboards peer down like a row of giants on a drawbridge who appear intimate but are secretly filing for divorce. And the whiskey and the Roxy clubs feature rock bands that are named after toilets, boomerangs, kitchenware, and I want a motorcycle. I've never had a motorcycle. And everybody here is a little bit behind or in front of the cameras. In the bookstore, I stood in line beside Donald Sutherland, one of my favorite actors, and I almost vaulted the aisle to grab his arm and tell him how much I admired his work, particularly in Nicholas Roeg's dark Venetian drama. But I held back my racing heart to give him space to breathe alone in the illusory world where he is not recognized. In the gas station, I pumped gas next to the famous male model with the blonde hair extensions and big pectorals, whom they never let speak in public. I knew it was him when a girl with a narrow ticket face approached and pulled his autograph while we pumped. And I said, "It's you, right? You're that movie guy." And he said, "No, not him." And I said, "Okay," because it was funny enough to me that he denied it. But then he stood behind me to pay at the cashier, and I turned and I said again, "Come on, you're that guy, aren't you?" And he said, "Yes, it's me, it's me, it's me." And we were both gratified. And the Mesopotamians behind the payment grill also brandished their mustaches at the big star action. I had just seen this male model as a life-size comic cardboard cutout in the greeting card store window up the street. This is the city of movies, not films, of package, persuasion, and negative pickups in the financing of all life, including executives who seek preference in restaurant seatings like packs of militant seals. And this is the city that serves up its own name as part of the deal. Sunset Boulevard in the dog-breath night. The long cars line up in lacy steel brocade outside the restaurants to be loaded with people that generate international states of mind and dubious cultural symbols. And it's time for the hitmen, the pitchmen, the agents, and the one-line guys to roll the big cameras like dice. And no one forgets to be seen leaving a big tip or to throw themselves with a big round of applause under the wheels which roll down this street, walking distance from the health club, ragged with the dregs of rock and roll. The traffic lights blink and car shadows move across me like a movie that kicks in when I close my eyes. It's the movie where I'm always the star. Waiting for the light to change, waiting for the big change. City of stars, neighborhood of strangers. It will happen for me, it will happen for me, it will happen for me, it will happen for me.